Hello and welcome everybody, what is going on? So this is MiaSanMiaTV and it has been a while since I made a video. Now I wanted to make a video obviously because now the huge news came out about Brandt, us apparently having signed Brandt. And I just wanted to make it clear that technically we've not actually signed him. Obviously if we had signed him we would have known about it from the club directly, but according to Bild, which it's a very credible story just because it was Bild Plus, and normally if it's Bild Plus then it is a pretty credible story. You know, that's when they actually have their own sources, that's when they actually have people there, not just making stuff up. So every time they do that, they're usually spot on. So in this case they're pretty spot on, at least that's what I'm saying. I think that's pretty valid story. I think, you know, if you actually look at the credibility of the story, I put it at 100 right now, 100 out of 100. That's how credible I think it is. But it's actually important to actually dissect what they were saying, because in the article it said that we haven't actually signed him, but he has told his friends that he is going to Bayern. He's told his friends, who've obviously told Bild, that he is going to move to Bayern eventually. That obviously right now the question is whether we're going to buy him this year or whether we're going to buy him next year. Now Bild mentioned that obviously if it's this year we will be paying roughly around 30 million euros. If it's next year we'd be able to trigger his release clause, which I think is set at 12 million euros. So regardless, what they're saying, regardless of if you're going to get him this year or next year, we've already agreed with the player. And right now it's just a question of if we're going to get him this year or next year. Now, obviously the question now is about Robben and Ribery, and I think that's the only reason why Brandt and Bayern themselves are stalling with this, because obviously we've been linked to Brandt now for a while, and it has looked like we're going to get him. And obviously you could tell Uli Hoeneß factor, because obviously he wants Bayern to be basically German FC, which kind of always has been, now that I think about it. But still, you know, he is obviously Sule, Rudy, Brandt. You kind of tell the direction we're going in right now, which is fine. Considering that German players that we're usually pretty good. But like I said, I think it really depends on Robben and Ribery, because right now both of them still have a year. You know, they still have a year left. They just signed an extension, both the contracts ending in 2018. So now the question is, I think obviously Brandt is looking at them and being like, can I make it? Can I not? You know, should I play 1 year at Leverkusen without the Champions League? Because it looks like they're not going to get Champions League this year, so he's probably thinking about that on that side. Whereas Bayern are probably thinking, okay, we've got Robben and Ribery, and if we're going to get Brandt, is it better to just wait for, you know, this season to have a look at Robben and Ribery and see whether they're, you know, because right now obviously they're not injured, they're pretty healthy. Whether they're going to get injured, if they are going to get injured, we'll have to get Brandt. If they're not going to get injured, maybe we should stick with them too. Is Costa going to leave? Because obviously he was saying stuff that he wants to leave and whatnot, and that he isn't 100% confident or comfortable right now. So I think there's a lot of factors, and I think considering that the season is still going on, we've got about 3 months. I think we should know more in about a month. Knowing Rummenigge, to be fair, knowing Rummenigge, he's probably going to come out in an interview next week, this week, sometime maybe early next month, late this month, and say something on Brandt, because he's usually pretty straightforward. You know, every time there is a transfer, even if it's just a rumor and he gets asked about it, he's pretty straightforward about it. You know, when there was just like a rumor that Hummels might come to Bayern, he was, you know, straight away the next day he was like, yep, that's actually true, we're currently speaking to him, but that's all there is to it. So we'll know more once Rummenigge speaks. I just wanted to make a video on the Brandt situation, because I don't know, I've always been a fan of Brandt, but I never really thought that he would be Bayern material. I always thought he would be like just like a tier below, not quite Bayern material, but say something like Arsenal, maybe Chelsea, not quite Chelsea, because I feel like Chelsea have much more talent especially on those positions. But you know, like something like an Arsenal, like a Liverpool. I always thought that would be a perfect place, and I always thought that would be his level. You know. Just like a tier or two below, but I never seen his potential to be like, you know, like the biggest clubs that he could play for, like the biggest clubs out there. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how he does. A lot of the times I'm wrong with youngsters. A lot of the times I'm wrong, because I always think that they're amazing. I always think that they're rubbish, and then it comes out that in 2-3 years later they suddenly play like the best player in the world. So from that standpoint, yeah. I might be wrong. What do you guys think? Is Brandt going to be a player? Do you think Brandt has the potential to basically, well, he will have to replace either Ribéry or Robin, most likely Ribéry. So in that case, does Brandt have the potential? Because yeah, it's gonna be pretty difficult for him to break through if he comes this year, because obviously you'll have Coman, who's guaranteed to stay now thanks to Ancelotti, who mentioned that today. Costa, who we still don't know really, and Ribbon. I keep calling him Ribbon and Robbery. No, and obviously Robin and Ribéry, them two still being here this year. So I think personally, for his sake, it will probably be better to come in next season. But knowing Ribéry and Robin, I think it wouldn't be a bad situation for him if he were to come this season, because I do feel that he's going to get playing time next season. So tell me what you guys think, ladies and gentlemen. Other people can rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace out, and have a nice day.